So before I begin, I want to share with you that we are going to soon we're gonna soon GA uh, unified apps in Studio Web, which is a new way of building empowering apps and making them far more feature rich and more capable in and faster and leverage all our platform capabilities. And why we are why we're doing this is because before we had this type of integration, it was quite difficult to use apps and automations together. You'd have to build the app, you would have to then connect it to the code behind. You have to publish the process before creating the app, and it was and also whenever you wanted to run the automation from the app, it would take a long time before the automation started uh, to activate and start doing whatever it's supposed to be doing. And that's why we decided to put this together, and not only just to enhance the connection between apps and automations, but also to make apps easier to build and more capable and more resilient at the same time. And in this regard, the experience that we're aiming to do is a unified experience. The first step from a much more broader initiative of unifying our platform, but it's going to be a unified experience in which you build an app, an automation at the same time in the same process, in the same project, and that's why it's called App in a Studio. Before I go forward, I want to make clear that these types of apps that are powered by code behind are running on unattended cloud robots for now. This is a current limitation. And by doing so, we also enhance the number of use cases that can address. It's going to also be much easier to build an app. Yeah.
Silvio, sorry to interrupt. Can you move away that window if possible?
Oh, I noticed it. Okay.
Thank you.
You can it has the use cases that can address. You can be much easier to build apps and automations together, and in general, we're gonna leverage the platforms, our entire platform's capabilities, and make building automations and apps much easier. Just to showcase how it was done before, this is a before and after, very simple description. Before, you had to go through all those steps that you see in existing experience of creating apps, automations, publishing, and then in the new experience, everything is much more streamlined, as you will further see in the demo. In order to showcase the capabilities, I created here two apps. One of them is an app for let me open it, for uploading a simple an invoice. It's a simple, relatively simple form. You have to input the customer name or the number, upload the invoice. The invoice is then automatically processed when you click submit by a code behind workflow, by this automation. Which looks exactly like any Studio Web automation, but it's enhanced by a couple of specific app-specific activities, such as sharing spinners and opening other app pages and even creating an app task. I'm going to run now this automation to showcase how it works. Actually, this app. And then further, after I show you this use case, I would like to show you how you can further enhance it and make it easier for the user to upload an invoice using code behind. This would be similar to probably the current experience, or the number, order a month. And here we put the invoice sample. I click submit. As the app is now executing, it's actually executing the code behind. I'm going to switch to the code behind, and you can see here how it's executing the workflow. as you can see, the overflow started executing almost immediately. I intentionally put here a breakpoint so that you can see that the debugging capabilities that we have are the same that you have in Studio Web, including the watches panel where you can see all the variables of the workflow and investigate in case you have problems why the automation is not working as expected. I will now continue the execution. And this workflow, what it will do, it will upload that invoice that I just gave to the app. It will upload it to an entity, to a database, and it will store it there. And it will also create a validation task for that invoice, which will be validated from another app that I previously built and published. I'm going to take you now to the other app. That is an action app. The app, as you can see, it's pretty simple. You have the invoice details and you have the ability to approve and reject. When you click on, when the app loads, there is a first automation that is executed on loading the app, which populates the information in the app from the entity by using the ID of the invoice. It will pull the information from the entity and populate the app with the information. And then there is another automation on the submit button, which will approve in this case, will approve the invoice. And now I'm gonna go a bit to show you how it works straight in Action Center, because as I was debugging, as I was running that first app that I showed you, I already created a task in Action Center, and I'm gonna showcase you how easy it is to approve it and how it works. And then I'll get back to my previous app. Just give it a little bit. Okay, so you can see here invoice approval task. This is a task that was previously created. If I click on it, the app will start executing. You have to give it a few seconds for it to load the data. Now it loaded the data that you previously saw me input. If I want to approve it, I have to assign it to myself and approve the invoice. Okay, task completed. So now I want to showcase more about the capabilities of using this integrated approach of apps with code behind with Studio Web. Going back to our initial app that I showed you that was uploading, you notice here that I have 4 fields: customer name, order number, order amount. The reality is that now by using code behind, I could no longer need these fields. I could potentially extract the information that I need using code behind and probably in document understanding. And I wasn't using this information previously, but I already added here the document understanding activity. And it's extracting the data from the invoice. And now instead of populating the information in create entity record from the app, I can use it from the extracted document data. Yes, customer name, vendor name, order amount, and invoice number, total amount, and invoice number. Let's do it. Okay, so now I no longer need the information from the form. I only need the invoice, and I can potentially go to my previous form and hide these fields, but for now I'm gonna just mark them as not necessarily required. Okay. Now let's test our automation again. Now, the reason you saw that message here to open the app is normally we open it automatically, but sometimes due to browser limitations, we can't just open a new tab. So when we detect that that's not possible, we tell the users to click there to open the app for debugging purposes. Let's see. Execution. Continue. And if I did everything right. Seems everything worked fine. Task was created. And now if we're going to go to the task manager, we should see this new task with the information automatically extracted from the invoice. Oh, that's all what I wanted to show you for now. There's more coming. We're going to continue to enhance this experience of unifying apps with Studio.